instead of going to the government for help, innovating, creating, and expanding something totally different outside the scope of it, where people could actually solve each other's problems without needing permission from the government, without needing to, of course, plead, without needing to, of course, bow down to the rulers. As, of course, if you look at the news today, it's almost everything that Ron Paul and independent media predicted years ago. And the movement, the shift, I think, is slowly aligning towards understanding the true power of this, as long as it stays true to its ethos. And if you look at Bitcoin, you look at the early adopters, you look at the people who kind of spearheaded it, it was Ron Paul. It was the anarchists. It was the free staters. It was individuals that think independently outside of the state. And I think those ethos need to stay within this community and be reminded that this is truly what Bitcoin is about.
Nice.
Yeah. I am Ben Askren. I wrestled. I went to the Olympics. I fought a bunch of people. People like that, I guess. And then I got into Bitcoin in 2017. And along the same lines, none of us disagree, but I think one of the most important things about Bitcoin is self-sovereignty, right? The ability to take care of yourself. And I told my wife earlier, when I come to one of these Bitcoin conferences, it's just, people are just a little different. I meet people who are a lot more like-minded to myself than maybe general people walking on the street. And when we talk about self-sovereignty and American history, sometimes when things are tough, I think back to like how easy we actually have it. And, you know, I tell people about Bitcoin, you have this treasure and you keep your money yourself. And like, oh my God, it's so scary. I have no third party to take care of myself. And it's like, but wait, at some point in American history, people packed all their shit up in a wagon and they took a couple horses across America and they relied on no one but themselves. There was no one to bail them out. And when I meet Bitcoiners, it's like they want to have some of their own land. They want to make some of their own food. They want some chickens, go get the eggs. They want to raise their own families and instill values in their kids that they want to have in their kids. They don't want the state raising their kids. And so when I think about Bitcoin and I think about the American foundation, it's self-sovereignty, taking responsibility for yourself, and that's what Bitcoin's all about.
Nice. So Ben, you're a world-class athlete. I have a friend who's a trainer, and he said that almost everybody who trains, their politics gets affected. Do you see some kind of similarity between like people who take care of themselves and fitness and this sort of theme of Bitcoin and self-sufficiency that you mentioned?
Yeah, 100%. I think there's a few mixed martial artists on the panel, I think either tomorrow or Saturday. And I think specifically in the mixed martial artist community, we are a little bit anti-authoritarian, very individualistic, and so there's more mixed martial artists that come to Bitcoin and understand it right away than I think other fields. And it's just because we are okay with that self-sovereignty and we are okay with taking responsibility for ourselves and our actions, and we don't like people telling us what to do, right? We love the freedom, and so, yeah, I think that kind of lends itself a little bit easier.
Nice.
Yes.
So speaking of